Promotional consideration paid for by the Comic Corps.
Hello and welcome to Dru Manchu's Comic Book Reviews. I'm your host, Dru Manchu, and today we're going to be taking a look at Batman 77, City of Bane, Part 3. Let's check it out. Tom King's Batman run has had its ups and its downs. There have been some really great moments, some fantastic art in a lot of different issues, but for the most part, it's been a dissection of who Batman is in a way that I simply just don't care for. That being said, his run is coming to an end very soon, and City of Bane has also been a very lopsided arc as far as quality, in my opinion. Bane has teamed up with all of the villains, including Flashpoint Batman, who's Batman's father from an alternate universe, who became Batman after his son was murdered. Kind of a weird concept there. His wife became the Joker, and he ended up murdering her, so he's not really a good guy, kind of a psychopath in his own right. Bane has taken over the city. He's given the police jobs to all the villains who have been modified mentally by Psycho Pirate. It's a very convoluted story. Batman is out of commission, being nursed back to health by Catwoman, and all the Bat family has been barred from the city. The threat of the death of Alfred stands in the way of the Robins or Nightwing doing anything about this at all. So naturally, in this issue, Damian Wayne has had enough, and he's going to take down Bane. He shows up in the city and he's confronted by Gotham Girl who has taken on the role of Robin in this new evil dynamic duo. She chases him, uses her superpowers, tries to blast him with her eye beams. He keeps dodging, and then bam, whips out a magic wand, throws out a spell, and binds her where she stands. She's fallen right into his trap, and he said it before, and he'll say it again. Super people are easy to beat. Draw a circle on the ground with a pointy star, talk to some demon, blah, 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 sell your soul, blah, blah, blah. Bam, they're done. It's over with. Flashing to Paris, we see Selina is singing some sort of song in French and cooking some sort of stew of some sort, and Bruce is still passed down on the couch, and he comes to, because apparently that's all you need is some stew made with expensive ingredients from the fencing of a stolen Vermeer painting, and he'll be right as rain. Back in Gotham, we get the detective team of Scarecrow and Zsasz, which is kind of a strange deal. They're harassing a guy for the leash length when he's walking his dog. They try to shoot the dog, and bam, here comes Damian, a kicking and a punching, and knocking these guys for a loop. He saves the dog, he avoids some bullets with some acrobatics, he's kicking people left and right. And the only thing that I really don't like about this scene is that Zsasz is using a gun, which means he's going to fail because he's a knife guy, and he should be armed with some knives. I really don't think it would have mattered much either way. Damian is definitely prepared to take out both of these losers. We go back to Paris for a page, and we realize that now that Bruce is conscious, the only thing he's available to do at this point is feel sorry for himself, so let's see how that goes. Back to the action in Gotham, we get a rooftop confrontation between the Batman from Flashpoint and his grandson, Damian Wayne. Thomas Wayne says, don't make any mistake. He's not a bumbling idiot. He's not a villain. He's not a police officer. He is Batman. And Damian is one of the most defiant characters in the history of DC Comics. One of my favorite characters, to be honest. And he just is not hearing it. He looks him right in the eyes. Says, no, you're not. You're not Batman. He knows all about this guy. He when he's bored, he breaks into a Hall of Justice and fiddles around their computers. Just does some research because that's who he is. That's who Robin is. He knows that Thomas Wayne went nuts. He knows that Martha Wayne went nuts in this universe, and he knows that he had to kill her when she became the Joker. He knows that Flashpoint Batman is nothing but a failure. He's the one who let his universe collapse because of a button. He's the one who let Bane take over the city. He's not Batman. He's just pathetic. And then he smacks the taste right out of his mouth. Thomas responds, You must be Damien. You must be my grandson. Damien's not having it. He says, we're not related. You're ancient. You're fake. I'm Robin, and I'm here to beat you into the ground. Back in Paris, Bruce implores Selina that they have to go now. He has to go back to Gotham. But they do this while sipping cocktails in a street-side cafe and wearing a beret and looking like a dummy. I mean, it's just, it's come on, man. In Gotham, we get the battle between Flashpoint, Batman, and Robin, and it's pretty darn epic. It's a back and forth until finally the grown-ass man gets the advantage and beats the child. I mean, come on, Damien held his own for how long as a 13-year-old, kicking the ever-living crap out of every villain he came across, beating Gotham Girl, who's super-powered, standing up to Batman, and he did pretty darn well in my opinion. Either way, he's knocked unconscious, and the Flashpoint Batman stands victorious. We're back to the streets of Paris, where Bruce is pleading with Selina to let him go back to Gotham and die in a suicide mission. It's just... This is Tom King's Batman at its worst versus Tom King's Batman at its best. She says she's not going to watch him die and that there's another way. He says he can see every scenario and there is no other way. Robin comes to in Wayne Manor, beaten, bloodied, and battered and tied to a chair. He hears the pleading of Alfred, no, not in front of the boy. Please, no, not in front of the boy. Thomas tells him that he preferred to give him another chance, and he just made a mistake. But Robin looks up just in time to realize that this isn't Batman's city. This is the City of Bane, and Bane snaps Alfred's neck with his bare hands. Thomas says that he knows what Damien's thinking. Now that Alfred's out of the way, the rest of the family will come. The rest of the family will save the day. But they won't, because Damien is the new hostage. Then we get one final panel of Catwoman telling Batman that she will show him the way to save the day. This one was a little bit of a mixed bag, gang. I really love Damien as a character, and I think Tom King nailed him and his attitude in this book. I think the action was really great. We get to see him in a bunch of different scenarios being way better than just about anybody else in this universe ever could be. He's tough as nails, he's smarter than most people, he's a great detective. We get to see him doing more detective work and coming up with creative solutions than we'd seen Bruce do in this entire run. Mostly, Bruce just feels sorry for himself and says, I am Batman, and punches things after talking about killing himself and feeling sorry for himself and dealing with the mental trauma, and it's just not Batman. And this is Damien being a better Batman in this series than Bruce has been for 76 issues. And I love it. I want to know where the hell Damien has been in Tom King's story because he writes him very well. I find Tom King to be up and down all over the place. Loved his Vision. Loved his Mr. Miracle. Loved his run on Grayson. Batman, not so much. Heroes in Crisis, not so much. He's a hit or miss guy in my opinion, but this is a hit when he deals with Damien. When we're getting the Bruce and Selina stuff in Paris, back to the bottom of the barrel for Tom King. It's just really terrible writing. He's dying of some sort of defeat. He's in a coma, but like the smell of soup cooking wakes him up. Who knows? And then this is all going on, and he's hiding out, drinking, Bellinis on the streets of Paris. It's just dumb. It's just really, really dumb. I know that he's trying to tie a Catwoman to him in a way that they hadn't before, but, they didn't really explain a whole lot of why she walked down on the wedding. That kind of fell flat, and they're still doing this. They're still playing this game together. It's pretty nonsensical, and I think that it mars this issue from being pretty darn perfect. On to the Tony Daniel art. I think the last issue, issue 76, was really, really well drawn. This one seems a bit rushed in a lot of ways, and a lot of these panels seem a little bit minimalist for Tony Daniel's style. It's not bad, it's just not great, and it could have been better. That said, there's really great action. I like the way that the book flows, and at least in these Gotham panels, there's a lot going on here that's a lot of fun. Bane finally shows up in City of Bane for the first time. That's pretty cool. He snaps Alfred's neck, which is a big point in continuity. Alfred's dead. If they undo this in some sort of weird Tom King way, or it was some sort of psycho pirate deal, then hey man, that is what it is. But as for right now, really big reveal in this issue. 77 here is the death of Alfred, so pick that up on speculation. I will say that Gotham Girl's dialogue in the first couple pages of this book is some of the most stilted, horrible dialogue that I've ever read in a comic. And I was really worried that my opinion of Tom King was tainting me, because I thought that she was going to dispatch Damian right away and I was going to throw this thing in the trash. But he found a way to work around that, and I thought that was pretty cool. He would take any means necessary. He knows magic people. He knows that metas are susceptible to magic, and he'd find a way to work around it. That's what a good detective does, and that's what he does here. Again, better than Batman for 76 issues. I love the fact that this badass character here is still a child, and still, at the end of the day, is treated as such. And I like this issue a lot. When you find that, golden kernel of corn in a turd, that's what 77 is to me. It's a 4 out of 5, guys. This is a good issue and a terrible run. Check it out.
I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, give us a subscribe, and hit that notification bell. That way you know anytime the Comic Core is going live. Alternatively, if you'd like to support us monetarily, you can buy some of our Comic Core t-shirts. They're available on our TeePublic store. Click the link in the description below, or just go to the TeePublic website, type in Comic Core, and then shop till you drop. Do you have a hot date coming up? Maybe a job interview? We're putting up new designs all the time. You can check out this Dru Manchu Baby t-shirt. Impress your friends, your neighbors, and potential employers with your style. They're available in a plethora of different colors. Check the link in the description below.